That's a great one. I still think about education every time. I like the stage. I think about education every time, and I think to myself, we should have not just a formal education. I was saying this to someone before. We should not just have a formal education. We should have formal education, informal education, and alternate education. It would make it better. Think about it. That's just my thought on education. But yeah, we'll go on now to talk about Echo Africa because everybody's here. And I think we should hear about what Echo Africa does and what's the future of Echo Africa. So I'm going to talk about that first, and then after that we're going to have the panel come up here. We're going to ask them questions. I hope they're ready for this because it's going to be like why is the name Innovation Africa? I'm just joking. We're not going to tackle you that hard, but it should be fun. It should be fun. And I thank everybody for coming in here. I've seen a lot of great faces, and you're the future of Africa. That's the whole point. We are all the future of Africa. And not just only Africa, we are the future of the world. So if we fix Africa, we fix the world. I always say this, if you know me, if you've met me before, and you've seen my passion, I'll say this to you normally. If Africa is ethical, they will teach the rest of the world about ethical ways, about fairness. Because if something bad has happened to them, and they start to be nicer, and start to teach the world about how being nice is, then the world will be nice. Just my thoughts. So teach Africa to be ethical, and the world will learn about ethical ways. Right. Thank you, Lucy. Everybody knows Lucy, my vice president. Can we give her a round of applause? Doing great work. She's not even African. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. The whole world, fix Africa, it'd be better. And then, the image of black people could change. Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, these are the problems. This is one thing that's very deep into my heart. The death in Africa, the continent of Africa, 16 children under the age of 5 die every day. And that's a big one. I don't think that amount of children die in the UK. I don't think that amount of children die in America. I don't think that amount of children die in Japan or anywhere else in the world. 16,000 children. Oh my God. That's a lot. That's one problem I think in my heart that is a big one in Africa. We need to change that. Cultural differences and historical influences has made it difficult for foreign companies and investment companies to be successfully placed in Africa. So for instance, think of it. I always say this. I know I've met a lot of you in this room and I've had a conversation with you personally. And I always say this, for instance, Starbucks and Costa Coffee. Why is it not in Africa? Why don't they have that there? Because I like coffee. So when I went to Nigeria 2 years ago, I couldn't find Costa Coffee. I was so mad. Because then I was like, how am I going to drink coffee? Because I like Costa Coffee. Costa Coffee in particular, the cup, the red cup, the whole way it looks cool when I walk around and everybody's looking at me with my Costa Coffee, but it's not there. See, so these companies don't know how to go get these companies in Africa. That's a big problem. So there's cultural influences, cultural differences, is getting it not in there. Inequity. Now, equity, sometimes people don't know what that means. Equity means fairness. If you check it on the dictionary, it means fairness. Now, there's no fairness when it comes to the way we do business. And in Africa, the rise in Africa seems to only get worse. And some of the individual states climb the ladder in economic development. And the continent is currently facing a staggering 1 billion children that don't have access to education. So that's not fair. That's not fair. If we get in all these education over here, you get a student loan. I always say this when people say, I've got a student loan. I'm like, oh, I don't get a student loan. I'm African. You get student loan. You get free education when you go to primary school or secondary school. Don't get that in Africa. That's not fair. So the inequity that's happening over there really touches my heart. Now let's go to Echo Africa as a solution. ECHO, for instance, stands for Environment, Community, and Organization of Africa. So all of you here, the young students, I want you to think about that. If we actually decided to fix Africa, if all of us decided to fix Africa, and we wanted to do it through a structure, we'll do it through the structure of ECHO. The environments, the community, and the organizations. So if we think about the environments, we think about the land, the trees, the resources that we have that's being taken away. Don't tell them I said that. Yeah, I was reading the news 2 weeks ago, $60 billion of resources leaves Africa on a yearly basis. $60 billion. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So how do we do this? Environments, that's one. The community. So I've talked about children, I've talked about how they're not getting this good education, I've talked about people in Africa not getting companies over there, coffee, for instance. So the community, how do we get the community changing? And then organizations. What sort of organizations do we need there? Do we need more computer organizations there? Do we need a new sort of organization over there? Do we need the organization that could be the start of a new organization? So this is what I want you guys to be thinking as students, and that's why I want you to join Echo Africa. Because then you join it, then we can actually use this structure to create what we want to create in Africa, to teach the rest of the world about what we want to do. Right. So, we aim to do projects through this. So if you join Echo Africa, all we're saying is bring your ideas in there. We're not telling you come to Echo Africa and do something massive or come and change the world. We're not saying that. We're just saying bring your ideas. I know if I asked everybody in here if they have an idea to put in Africa, somebody would have something. Should I just do that? Should I do that? Oh, hi. Hi there. What's your name? Paul. I know you. How you doing, Paul? Do you think there should be something that should be done in Africa now? An idea that should be done there? Just give me one.
Honestly, I don't know, but I'd start with talking to the education system.
There you go. Education. I've already been saying that. Education. So now there's no better schools over there. I think to myself, if I go to Africa now, I'll be making the first school that has formal, informal, and alternate education. It's very funny to say that because you can speak broken English in the school if I wanted to make that. It's a language. People understand that in Africa. You don't have to speak proper English in that school. You can make their school speak their language in their school by the people that are in their place. So that's one thing. So we're just saying bring your ideas into Echo Africa, register this idea with us, and then we work together to put that idea over there. Because if you don't start putting the idea out, and it's not going to work. We're the millennials, so we need to do this. We're the one that could redefine the future. The future is already defined in a way now that does not work for all of us, so we can redefine this future. We can all together redefine it. We can write a new era in general. I know it sounds like I'm just saying it, but we can write a new era all together. Just write a new thing that would actually work for everyone from now to the future. I hope in the future that by the time I'm like 70 years old or 80 years old, I'll be sitting there thinking to myself, good one, the world is now ethical and social. That's how I see the future. And that's how I want you all to see the future too. The strategy. First of all, expansion of Echo Africa concept in the UK, to the UK and to other UK universities. So we don't want to just leave it only in Salford University. We want to take it everywhere. Take it to Manchester University, Birmingham, London, wherever it is. We want Echo Africa to go there. But if we're going to get it there, we need to be the first pioneers because he started here. He started with me, your friend, Sam. Sam Talks, hashtag. He started with me, and then we can move it over to the other parts. That's what we want to do first. We expand it first. This innovative idea is being established in African locations. So there might be something coming out soon. I'll tell you more about it. We hope to have a website launching in January where you can go on this website. You pay for your membership. Do you pay your membership? You pay your membership, you go on this website, you log in your idea in there. If you log in your idea in there, you open it up to mentors or university students in Africa, like I said. The second part is to put these ideas in African locations. So you log it in there, you open it up to university students in Africa, they can see your project, they can be like, oh, I want to take that project. And you have a group of students in Africa taking your project so you can become CEOs in the UK. You don't have to go to Africa to do that. Or you can open it to the public. And then when that public part that I'm talking about now, because we want to tackle the government in Africa that does not do things right. So if you put the idea in there, open it to the public, the amount of public people that go in there like Facebook and like this idea, like the idea every time, the government has to implement that because then we'll be pushing them through this. We'll be saying, look at the amount of people that's doing this. You need to do this because this is what is happening. And then you will have people backing it up because it's coming from where? The United Kingdom. They're already a strong people, so let's use that interdependence to create our dependence. Why not? Expansion of Echo Africa partnering with universities in Africa, I already just said that. So through that website we do that. So watch out for the website. We'll be launching by January, hopefully. Hopefully we get it done. Fingers crossed. And expansion of Echo Africa to the rest of the world. If we do that, then we fix the whole of Africa. Because I feel like it's only Africa that's not fixed. That's my point. I've already said this already, before we even got there. Echo Africa technology. Using the technology to tackle this problem, and even also all of us. We are also all technology. I know everybody in here has got a phone, got somewhere of using computers or something. Unifying this global effort to fix the economy of Africa. It's the only economy that is not balanced. If I go on anywhere, I'll see economy of somewhere. Economy of Japan, economy of Korea, economy of this. Korea is good at missiles. America is great at ambition and McDonald's and Big Mac Index. I just read about the Big Mac Index. I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with the fact that they're trying to use Big Mac to control the world. But yeah, come and meet me later. I'll tell you about that. You're not dating. Come see me later. Unifying us as university students, young people, to actually innovate in Africa. Innovation is the point. Innovation. Let it be a new, redefined world that we build in Africa. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. We believe that with collaboration and building a shared community to excel social enterprising approach in Africa. Like I said, in the future, I want to be sitting and thinking to myself, the world is now more social and ethical. We're more fair now. We're better people. And we've overcome all hatred, and now we're even overcoming our greed. Because we need to overcome that one. We've overcome hatred because we don't even fight war anymore. Now we need to overcome our greed, our fact that we want it all, and just share it fairly and socially. That's what we need to do. I know everybody in here has heard about this. If you've not heard about this, please go research it. I'm not going to really talk about the whole 17 goals, but the UN has come up with the 17 goals, and this is what we aim to do. Now, if you divide the 17 goals by the 3 words that I've just said, environment, community, and organization, if you divide those into this, they would all fit into everything that's here. I mean, poverty, it's already a community problem. You want to go into no hunger? It's already a community problem. Food is a community problem. It's environment too, because if you kill somebody's environment, they can't plant crops. So, join Echo Africa. This is what I'm trying to say. If you join Echo Africa, we can all collectively fix this problem. I know you see my passion, and I know you all have passions in your hearts. Even though you're not African, I know you want to feel, you feel bad when you watch that commercial on TV and they say, give 10p to this kid. You're not happy with that, are you? I'm tired of seeing that on TV. I'm not happy with that.
Let's do that, actually give it to them.
We can go on with that one too. But let's just fix it so we don't even see the commercial at all. And then we can't even think about the commercial. 10p, give 10p to this kid. And then they show you some kid who fly around his head. Oh, it makes me mad. It makes me not happy. So we need to fix all of this. So join Echo Africa and let's do this together. Thank you very much.